And we're just going to go in the order that I watched them, which means we are going to talk about Obsession first. And I know I just said the order that I watched them. I barely watched this movie. Not because it isn't fantastic, not because it isn't one of the best horror movies I've ever seen, but because it is scary as shit and I could not keep my eyes open while watching it. But I was there. I stayed in the theater almost the entire time. I had to like take a break for a minute or two somewhere in the middle there just because it was getting intense. They do a really good job of like, okay, I'll break it down like this. Sorry, I'm all over the place. If you've ever watched, and somebody said there's a Simpsons episode, Monkey Paw thing, but for me, if you've ever watched Fairly Odd Parents, there's an episode where Timmy wishes Trixie, I think, wishes that Trixie liked him, and it gets weird. This movie is essentially that, but as a horror movie and in the most up way it could exist as. So yeah, that's Obsession. That's the premise here. The horror element or the monkey's paw element activates and we're in it. Like you're there and like even from that first shot, like it's wild how just the first shot once we're in it can be like it's terrifying in a way that I can't really explain. And the movie just kind of stays there and never leaves there. But you are terrified the entire time, and it's hard to explain necessarily, and it all comes down to, let's see if we could, Indy Navarrete is my best guess of how to say it. She is a revelation. She gives a masterpiece of a performance. It's hard to put into words. One of the best horror performances ever. Yes, this young lady right here is fantastic. I wanted the wiki actually, not the pictures, my bad. She is fantastic in this movie. Makes it happen. She's terrifying. She's endearing in some way. She's an amazing actress who does some crazy, both physical, vocal. Yeah, she does some of the most amazing acting you have ever seen in this movie, and that's a lot of what makes it work. Loved it because it was a movie I was terrified of watching, but could not stop watching it and couldn't stop thinking about it after I left it. It's that good. It's gonna leave you thinking about. I feel like yeah, it's Lynchian in ways. Like there's some stuff that exists in there that we're just never gonna get explanations to. That really pull at your brain, right? Really like make you think and give you that feeling of like wanting to process and think about what this movie is. And in general, it's just it's a great commentary on patriarchy, massage. I like. I don't want to say to use those words like that because that's going to turn people off in a way it shouldn't. But it is reckoning with things like consent, things like negging, things like consent, things like negging. It is putting a mirror to how I would say men in general look at and view women, but I think also specifically through the lens, I think the guy who made the movie is like 25 or 26. It feels very aware of what that looks like amongst this upcoming generation of 20 and 30 somethings. The idea of like, oh, he's a good guy or sees himself as one of the good guys and is like very aware he doesn't want to violate consent, or like somebody who is very clearly operating like he does not want to get in trouble for manipulating a situation or does not want to be seen like he's manipulating a person or a situation, and how that can come off and how he can still be a clearly bad faith might not be the right word, clearly be a villain, a villain in this situation in a lot of ways, even if he isn't the main villain character of the movie. I'm kind of rambling. It's a great commentary on the state of relationships today, on how men look at women as romantic partners on a lot of different levels, and just how dynamics between men and women work, especially when you're in your 20s or a dating person in the world today. It's amazing. You should check it out. The Sheep Detectives. Hey man, this movie is kind of amazing. It's hard to even really describe why or how. My brother was the first person to tell me, hey, it's got 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was checking, it's like, oh, people seem to really like this movie. I heard some people talk about it and we're vibing with it. It's essentially taking a murder mystery movie or a murder mystery story and meshing it with Babe. I guess like the movie Babe, like Pig movie, Pig Talks, Herd Sheep movie. You almost took those two things and mashed them together in a way that you would think can't really work or couldn't really work outside of being like kids movie, which this is obviously meant like a family movie meant to be watched by a family potentially. But also like I probably think it's better than Glass Onion. Like as somebody who really likes Ryan Johnson's Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out, just like likes the Benoit Blanc trilogy he has given us so far as murder mystery detective private investigator movies go. I like them a lot. I think Sheep Detectives is at least better than the worst of those three movies to me. And again, I like all of them. I like Glass Onion a lot. It is clearly to me the worst of the three movies, if that makes sense. Although I went back to rewatch Knives Out in a way I haven't done with Glass Onion yet, and I did come back to Knives Out the second time. Like, still very good. Didn't blow me away like I necessarily thought it would have. And I wonder if I rewatch Glass Onion, I might end up having it above Knives Out because I haven't given it that second watch yet. Wake Up Dead Man, my favorite one out of the three as time goes on. But again, this is a kids movie that is it's not a kids movie, it's a family movie that is a murder mystery set around talking sheep. And it's as good as some of the Benoit Blanc Knives Out murder mystery stuff, man. And I know you probably don't understand how or why. It's just really that good. Again, don't want to spoil too much about it. It's about some sheep, as you can tell from the titles, try to solve a murder eventually. Very meta in the way, right, of the sheep. Their shepherd often reads murder mystery novels to them, so it gets to be meta in that way as far as deconstructing the process of doing a murder mystery. And it does really well with that, but also like the emotional work, the character work being done amongst the sheep, actually they get a lot more than the adults do, or than the humans do. The humans feel more like the accessories in that way, outside of Hugh Jackman, I guess. Even then, their character growth, their character conflict,
Let's follow.
Like, really, hey, appreciate the follow. I think the follower is a bot based on that comment. Shout out for the follow though. I appreciate you. Sorry I had to ban you. I was making a good point too. Okay, yeah, the sheep. Their character conflict, the character growth, just the character work being done is really good, man. Like there were times where I was like, not about to cry or anything. Like, yeah, I am wistful. I am feeling some emotions here. It has those moments, man. The character work is just like, yeah, you have some real emotional and like emotionally intense moments with these sheep, and they are all put off really well. They have a bit at some point in the movie. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie, The Invention of Lying, but there's an okay bit in the middle of that movie where I kind of talk about how religion, like kind of do a meta joke or a layer joke about how religion gets created, right? This movie has a shorter bit that essentially does something similar to that, kind of more about religion, just existentialism, like what is the point of us living in our society and like all that. Like it does that in about like 30 seconds in a way that I thought was like really good, and to the point like I want to go see the movie again just to kind of hear what was being said there fully. So like, yeah, just stuff like that. It has good commentary in that way. It uses the simpleness or the simplicity of sheep to do some really interesting commentary on humanity and how we exist. So yeah, Sheep Detectives, really freaking good. Surprising in how good it is. Everybody's saying it's amazing. It's not lying to you. It's not a bit. It's not a joke. It's not even really because it's a family movie. Like you can go see this and you're gonna have a good time with it, whether you're going to see it with kids or without. So yeah, Sheep Detectives, really good. Let's get to the next one. Is God Is. I was very nervous about this movie. I just wasn't sure what it was going to be. Obviously, it was going to play in that blaxploitation space. Obviously, it was going to deal with domestic abuse in some type of way. Abusive father figures, abusive husbands, abusive male figures in the Black community. There was a level of nerve just about whether this was a group of people making that were going to be able to pull that off in a way that didn't feel like. There's so many examples. One always comes to my mind. I've never seen this movie, but the way people talk about it, something like Queen and Slim. I was worried it was going to go fully in that space, which I know works for people, isn't really for me. I don't need to see black trauma put in front of me in that particular way, I guess. I'm kind of happy to say it is not that. And it does balance the big themes it's trying to deal with. And I think a really good way. It stays in its, I don't know enough about blaxploitation to say it stays in its blaxploitation roots, but it feels like it does in a really interesting way. It's filmed beautifully. It's always cool to see black movies made by black people because they do an amazing, like, it's very obvious seeing how well they are able to capture black folks on film in a way that really brings out the beauty of black people and the beauty of black skin. That's definitely there in this movie. There are some shots that you see of just these people know how to capture black folks and make them look on screen how they should look. And it was really great in that way visually. It doesn't need to overwhelm you with its visuals at the same time. Both the acting performances, the main two acting performances, are like amazing. Cara Young and Mallory Johnson. Cara Young's definitely somebody I had seen in some stuff before. She actually is also in I Love Boosters, which we'll talk about in a minute, but definitely somebody I'm a little more familiar with. This may have been the only thing I've seen. Yeah, this may have been the first thing I've seen her in as I'm looking at her filmography. It definitely is the first thing I've seen her in. She's really good. She needs some more opportunity too. Like, if we search it, but she's really good in this movie. She ends up getting, I kind of assumed she would get less to do in the movie just based on premise and how, I'll be real, how our society deals with folks who have conditions like this, who have been through some, like, not conditions, I'm sorry, that have this type of trauma. Can't see the picture. No, y'all can. Yeah. Like, she's really good to the point, like, yeah, she needs some opportunities to work further. Hopefully she gets opportunities off of this movie. And I will say, that was probably one of the cooler things about this movie. It is played as if they play twins. They have a really strong connection to each other, and that's a big portion of the movie, and then their dynamic and their relationship and how that changes, evolves, grows, or stays the same. Cara Young is seen as I won't say the lead of the movie, but she is the one who is the most fervent about taking on the task set in front of them. And it feels like Mallory's character, Anaya, I think is her name in the movie, is more of the side character, the support character to her as it goes on. And we quickly realize that's not what this movie is. And even by the end, you almost realize, like, yeah, this is just as much Anaya's movie as it is. It's just as much Anaya's movie as it is Racine's movie, if not more. I don't want to say too much because of spoilers and everything. Both actresses really good. Mallory Johnson, I believe, give her more parts, more roles. Let's make her a big actress, because she's amazing. And I say all that, like, Cara's fucking amazing too. Again, she has a little more of the heavy lifting, I feel like, at least on camera early on, and she does an amazing job with that. She's capturing emotion of the character really well, and just does really well with the dialogue of the character. There's, like, idiosyncratic's not the word I'm looking for. I think the word I'm looking for might not even really apply. You might watch something like The Wire and can feel, especially with certain characters, that these are actors trying to play a part that is not core to who they are. So you kind of can feel that artifice to it almost. And that still exists here, where it's like, I don't think Cara Young sounds or talks like the character she is playing naturally, right? If anything, her character in I Love Boosters is a good show that she doesn't have to talk and speak like that, but it doesn't feel like artifice. It feels like an actor who is doing something very specific. It feels very controlled. It feels very on purpose. And it feels like she knows exactly what she's doing in portraying this character in a way that just really works and really stands out. Everybody else acting wise is doing a great job in this movie. There's not really a bad acting performance in this movie. Erica Alexander shows up for a minute. There's like a surprise performance in the middle. There's two kind of female characters that pop in that you definitely see in the trailer. Erica Alexander and then Janelle Monáe. There's a character in between that I think the movie doesn't really show you, that you got a little bit of time you spend with the character in between that. That's just, everything in there is really good. But yeah, overall, really like this movie. I was worried I wasn't going to like it, but had a really good time. Worth your time in seeing, definitely. Which brings us To my guy, I probably won't spend a lot of time on I Love Boosters here because I'm starting to think that the first video essay, hopefully, fingers crossed, the first video essay I do on the channel you're hopefully watching this video on, I think is going to be about Boots Riley. I don't know if Boots Riley is my favorite director or my favorite filmmaker, mostly because I don't tend to think about movies in that way. I haven't really latched onto a particular film director, filmmaker in a particular way. Obviously, Ryan Coogler kind of represents that to a lot of us as Black folks. He worked within the machine from, like, he's been making highly successful stuff on the biggest levels. That almost feels like, yeah, no, I don't need to point out that I really like Ryan Coogler movies. Everybody loves Ryan Coogler movies. They make billions of dollars, quite literally. But I think Boots Riley is probably my favorite director. If I had one, I'm gonna take you back to Sorry to Bother You. If you guys don't know who Boots Riley is, that's Boots Riley for you right there. Theatrical film debut was a movie called Sorry to Bother You. If you don't remember, it's a movie with Darius from Atlanta, with Keith Stanfield, doing the white voice on the phone while doing like the telemarketer thing. If you never saw that movie, go see that movie. That was one of... It's a rare thing. It's a rare thing to leave a movie as somebody who... This is why this is going to be a longer video, more of a video essay thing. As somebody who believes wholeheartedly in leftist thought, would consider himself, at least in thought, an anarchist, sat on the side of like pro-labor, pro-union, like, yeah, we need to build a labor force that is united and connected in this country to demand. Yeah. So, as somebody who believes in a lot of things, very anti-capitalist in a lot of ways, I rarely leave movies with the feeling of like, oh shit, this person is on that time too. Because it's hard to be on that time and be in Hollywood, right? To be in really any industry and have like great or grand success. It's hard to be on that time and have success. You're trying to win at capitalism while being anti-capitalist. And that's not to knock anybody who's trying to exist within the industry. We all have to try to win at capitalism. If not, we literally die if we don't try. So that's not a knock on anybody at all for participating in the system. But it's rare at the highest stages to leave a theater feeling like, oh shit, somebody who is really on that time, who is really with us and standing against these systems that are destroying us, right? I think Sorry to Bother You was the first time that happened for me. If you don't know about Sorry to Bother You, it's as a whole, everything about the movies he makes are very leftist, are very pro-communism, anti-capitalism, race conscious, yes, true, but existing with some level of class consciousness, or trying to push a level of class consciousness into it. Just that, getting to see a movie that has all those pieces in it was really cool. There is a point in that movie where it goes to another level, Sorry to Bother You. And that was that point for me. It was like, oh shit, this dude like gets it. Like, I don't think I knew about his history at that time, but that was like, oh, this dude gets it. I'm not going to spoil what it is for people that haven't seen the movie. Pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. It's when the things pop up. You know what I'm talking about. That was my moment, like, oh, this dude gets it. And this might feel absurd to a lot of people, but this is somebody that understands how they view us. And by that, I mean like how capital looks at labor. I'll just put it like that. How those who control capital look at labor. So that was a big moment for me, seeing that movie. And I've been in on him really ever since. He has this TV show called I'm a Virgo, which I haven't finished yet, but even that was a cool thing to see in a TV series of him. Just again, I don't think I even got to the big twist of that movie yet, of that show yet, which is crazy because the show itself is about a giant. So like, what's the twist? But that's kind of the thing. Sorry to Bother You is about some black people using their code switching, but taken to an extreme level. And that's not even the big twist. I don't even know with I'm a Virgo. I haven't been deep enough into that show, but like, it starts with a giant. And still, like, I'm assuming there's a big twist there. But like, even before you get to that part, this way that movie is dealing with ideas of protest and intentional protest, like with purpose, striking, like all that stuff is like really cool. Really well done. So I've just enjoyed this dude's work from start to finish. So I was incredibly excited to see I Love Boosters. See what he did with it, especially like just in concept, just yeah, we're still dealing with class consciousness, even with the concept of the show. The fact like the trailer says steal overly priced stuff and sell it back at a discount. It's like community service, because that is fucking community service. And it's just somebody who's living in that space and who's living in that space and thinking in those ways. I was really excited to see this movie. And it did not disappoint in the slightest. I don't even want to say much about it other than just go see it. It's really good. If you like Sorry to Bother You, if you like I'm a Virgo, if you just like movies that, or like things that are going to challenge the political or the societal norm, this movie does that really at every level it exists as. Every actor's doing amazing work, from Kiki to Keith to the white woman that I'm forgetting the name of. Poppy Liu is also really good in this movie as well. Everybody's doing amazing. It's got so much style, like visually, and what it can build out. It's like, oh, it's an amazing movie. Go see it. It's nonstop. It's audacious, and it's creatively edited, creatively filmed, like beautiful in almost every shot. And color is just, yeah, it's fucking amazing. The twist, the like it's going even further part, to me isn't as much of a jaw drop as like in Sorry to Bother You. It's a jaw drop. In this movie, it's more like, oh shit, like I'm kind of just smiling the whole time as that part. I was like, oh, we're doing it. This is really cool. This is going to another thing. And the whole way they set it all up, just really cool. And I think the last thing I'll say about the movie is there's a theme in the movie about collective action and us finding community with each other as we fight for each other, and we fight for change, and we fight for revolution. That the community we can find in those spaces I want to say is an answer for loneliness, but I don't really want to say that because it makes it seem like we're using what we need in the community to solve our personal problems. But as somebody who really wants to believe in our ability as communities to come together, our ability as people to come together and make change, this was an important movie for me because it shows you a character who feels lonely and is lonely and finds their community through that work. And that's something that I think I'm gonna say something that something that I need, right? It's something that I need in my life as I get older, just as I live my life. It's like I need to find community. As somebody who wants there to be change in the world, I need to figure out I need to become a person who engages with people in a way, right? I feel like I do a thing that I'm sure a lot of us do, who have really like intense leftist thought process, revolutionary thought process, but also don't like talking to people, right? Also will spend a lot of time sitting alone, like on you, like, yeah, just in our own thoughts and in our own space and dealing with our own shit, and maybe don't, yeah, go out and talk to people and get on the ground and do real shit. And just like, I think it was a really hopeful movie for me in that particular message. And just in general, before we even get to that particular part of the message, just like the way this kind of thing culminates, just like, oh shit, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see people coming together for the cause and the fight. And it was a message full of hope. And I think it was something I needed in a world that is kind of constantly, in a world at this moment that's constantly trying to push me away from this thought process that the people can do it. And I have faith in the people and our ability to take the power back and build a beautiful and better world. And this was a movie that reminded me, despite how much it seems like we can't get there right now, we can still get there. Now, can we still get there? We got to get there. Like I said, there's going to be a bigger video, hopefully, down the line about Boots Riley and just his impact, more of a video essay scripted out. This is kind of me just shooting the shit and getting some thoughts out on these movies because I want to do that. I've been recording for over an hour. I'm going to try to cut this down to probably something that is less than 10 minutes, or at least in maybe that 8 to 12 minute range. Glad y'all took some time to listen to me. The goal is for this to be a start of me, not even necessarily talking about movies specifically, but putting some content up on this channel. This will be the first thing posted on my channel. Hope y'all fuck with it. I'll be back for more soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Never any promises, but I'm gonna try my best. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Peace.
Alright, man. So we gonna be loud, be the right one. Yeah.